Good morning, good afternoon to everyone here. I'm Drake, your host, with our new surprise host, or co-host, I should say, Jesse. Jesse, say hello.
Hello.
Why, hello, Jesse. And we have our new guest for the week. We have Otche. How are you doing, Otche?
What's up, guys? I'm good. Thanks for inviting me, Drake and Jesse and the CWA podcast team.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm pretty sure everybody would know, but you're a pretty well-known level 1 account person. So we brought you on to get some more info about that.
Happy to help.
You're just straight jumping in that. So how did you get into being a level 1, and how did you grow the community?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. So like March 2017, I came across a video from Galadon on YouTube. He's not on YouTube much anymore doing Clash Royale stuff, but featuring level 1 players that were like over 3,000, which was huge at that time, doing like really cool things and playing for rewards in his level 1 family, FA level 1. So at that point, I'd been playing the game for about 9 months, and I knew I wouldn't compete like with max players. It was too expensive, but I thought maybe I could have some fun as a level 1. And after all, like, it should be easier to max out a level 1 account because you don't need to upgrade any cards, and the legendaries could still be bought in the shop at that time. Now we only have 3 slots, so rip us. But it also makes it harder for people to make level 1 accounts now. So it's like, yeah. And so I made a level 1 account. I joined a new feeder at the time, FA level 1-3. They made me elder. I was like excited to help out. But I wanted to do more, but I really couldn't do much else in like FA level 1-3 because the leader had a temper, like no patience, and didn't explain like when kicking people randomly from the clan. Like, I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. Like, I always, if people get kicked, like there's an explanation in the clan so everybody knows. And then while in that like full attack clan, I was in one of the what are called like Nova EG clans now. It might have been Draco or something like that. And like the CWA family clans. And I asked around and got permission to establish a rival to FA level 1, which we called EG1, like Elite Gaming 1. And I recruited a bit. Our rewards were like minimal. Like, I just funded them out of my pocket. It was like $5 or something like that. But I hoped we could eventually be sponsored by CWA. A couple months later, like Nova and EG merged. And so we rebranded to Nova 1. And within like 2 weeks, like the Nova name just brought a lot of people over. And we overtook FA level 1. And I had a Nova sponsor from like one of the managers on the like marketing team. So basically, I just did some networking like within my clan, EG, and within Nova to like make it happen. And then we grew really fast because we got some publicity through like Clash with Ash. Basically did a similar interview like this. I think it was in December. And so then we got a lot really popular and people wanted to join level 1 clans. So we ended up growing to like 5 feeders. And so yeah, that's pretty much like how I got started. And then we've been sponsored by Clash with Ash since February of this year, 2018. And it's been great. The sponsorship basically means that there are rewards for the top 3 players, which it's pretty timely right now. It's the season end. And so at the end of the season, we just have one guy that stays up late and takes a screenshot of the top 3. And those guys get like a shout out on our Twitter at Nova LVL1. And then they also get like PayPal or whatever kind of gift card they want. And they got top 3 get the split basically like $50. And so, so yeah, that's been a huge reason why I think Nova 1 is where it's at. People love like pushing for the rewards. And so yeah, it's, and then as far as like the charm goes of a level 1 account, yeah, I definitely say that it's kind of a charming thing because you really have to finesse your opponents, like make positive elixir trades, use your princess towers as much as possible. And like you have to outthink your opponents to win. And if you want to see, if you're not familiar with level 1, just like check CWA's most recent level 1 video where he featured Game Over, who he re-attained his like level 1 world record of like 4,000 134. And so he does some really awesome plays in that video. And so it is kind of and then also making a new account and rising in trophies as a level 1 once you're familiar with the game is a really fun thing to do. And it gets a lot more hard. It gets a lot harder, like around 2,500 trophies or so, when it really matters, like how many legendary cards you have. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. It's pretty sweet. Like, a sponsorship is very nice. It certainly does provide a better incentive for pushing higher on ladder. Like, as for me on my main, my only thing like I want to do is like end up top 10K once. Like, as long as I get a screenshot of me ending up there at the end of the season, that's good enough for me. But just like, they just keep changing things and making it harder. Just like, never gonna get there. But
yeah, true. I mean, level 1 is really kind of like, it's like another game within a game, and so it does take you a number of months to get the legendaries that you need to really like compete with us. Like right now, our clan, the required personal best is like 3,600 trophies as a level 1, and we had earlier today 3 of our guys over 4,000 trophies. A game over was over 4,100 again, but he got bored and dropped like 30 to 38. I don't know why. He has a little bit of a temper sometimes. So
yeah, it's fine. Like, I understand that. So it's just like, where would you say to start? Just like go make a level 1 account and start from there, or would you rather have the experience of like starting your first account and getting that sort of experience, or would you rather have a level 1 account and start from there? Like, where would you start?
The game,
knowing the knowledge that you do.
Yeah, I mean, I know of one person who was brand new to the game, started a level 1 account, and I think she had fun with it. But I think eventually it was more interesting for her to start an account that she could level up, because that just goes a little bit faster when you're allowed to level your cards. Now, if you've already made it, like if you've broke 4,000 trophies, for example, with your main account, and you're struggling a little bit, like make a level 1 and you'll like play it for a week. Like, you'll like it a lot. And check my videos out on YouTube. I have some how-to videos for how to play level 1 and how to start an account and what decks to use at various trophy levels. And they're still relevant. Like, there have been a few balance changes since then, but they're still relevant. I'll make a new group of them if you guys are interested, given that there are some new cards out there or whatever. But yeah, so check my videos, look up at Nova LVL1, our Twitter, just to see like our clans. Join one of our clans. The minimum trophies are about 1,000, and that'll just take a few days if you're familiar with the game. Once you start a level 1, and then apply to one of our clans or check with me, like DM me or something. And my YouTube or my Twitter is at Otche_YT.
Yeah. Certainly having like a just level 1 clan is bound to help a lot. But since you mentioned balance changes, I'm going to ask, since balance changes make lives a lot miserable or much improved for other players, how do they affect level 1s, if at all?
Yeah,
like,
somewhat.
You obviously have legendaries being changed, which is the main thing, but like you have epics such as like Skelly Army or Giant Skeleton. Like, how do these balance changes affect you as a level 1?
As far as like I'll speak to like the end game level 1 players. I'm sure balance changes and new cards affect level 1s as they're rising up to the 3,500 range. But and actually, I'll say more like 3,800. But if you're going to break into 4,000 trophies, there are only 2 decks that have done that right now. And so the question is like, do those changes affect those decks? And so the first deck, it's like everybody else, and then one guy uses a different deck. So game overs, like Sparky level 1 classic deck, you could call it, is Sparky, Lumberjack, Bandit, Ewiz, Inferno Dragon, Princess, Log, Skarmy. So that one really didn't change at all for the last few balance changes. The Sparky had a little bit of a buff that helped a little bit in a few balance changes ago, and then the nerf to the Inferno Dragon that hurt them a little bit, but at the same time that came around the change with the new like trophy system, where at the end of the season your trophies get cut in half instead of going down to 4,000. So I think that kind of helped us keep gaining trophies. So really that deck like hasn't changed. People tried to sub in different legendaries for like that classic game over deck, but they didn't really work. They didn't break 4,000 trophies. There's one other deck which is like a specialized Mega Knight and Magic Archer NATO deck, which is ran by Alcabo. I did a video on that. It's like there's a Magic Archer in the thumbnail if you guys want to check it out. So he broke 4,000 trophies this season actually. He subs the Mega Knight in for Sparky, the Magic Archer for the Bandit, and NATO for the Lumberjack. But no one else has been able to use his deck. Okay. He's really talented with it. But all that to say, the balance changes haven't really affected our core decks, but they will. Like they affect it somewhat as you're leveling up. Like the change to the Barbarian Barrel, a lot of people are using that now in place of the log, or if they don't have a log. So that's a really good level one. It came into our meta, you could say, once it got buffed and it got that, like it's only 2 elixir now, and so it can be used pretty well, and that can actually like shut down archers, for example. So that's a real big help. So, and then tomorrow we're getting like an extra skeleton, an extra Larry's going back up to, is it 15 or 16? But
yeah, I think it's going to 15.
15. So that could help.
At 14, I believe.
Maybe. I haven't seen an explanation as to why we're getting that, but I mean that's great. And then the Ice Whiz, I'm sure we'll have a lot of level ones that are going to test out the new Ice Whiz and see if that'll help. But I kind of doubt that'll affect our top deck, because it's really hard. Like our top deck, it's kind of like a surprise deck where when the Sparky's low, we can throw in like a Lumberjack and a Bandit, and then the Lumberjack dies, the Sparky's raged, and like the Bandit tanks, and that we win a lot of games at the end where you get a raged Sparky like hit on the tower. So the Ice Whiz is just kind of like, people know exactly what the Ice Whiz is doing. He's pretty slow, and he's never really been in the meta and like the end game kind of level 1 decks that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So more of just like for the 2 decks, if you really don't want to play, like you want to beat down on those darn E-Barb decks, you can play Mega Knight.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really satisfying.
Anyway,
to
Jesse,
stop E-Barbs with Mega
Knight. It's fine. Like they both work. Any input you have to say on any of this, Jesse?
I don't know. I don't get how he like. Seems like it's like really hard to go really high on a level 1 account.
Mm-hmm. Can confirm it's extremely hard.
I've had trouble trying to get to 4,600, and I made a level 1 account, and I guess it's kind of helped me a little.
Yeah, like I had a level 1 account, got it to 1,800 or so, I believe, and then my account broke, and that was before the Supercell accounts, so you couldn't save your thing, and I just have a broken device now, and I'm just like, oh, there goes your level 1 thing. But
yeah, too bad.
It's fine. Like I had fun while I did it. Like I may make another one soon.
Were you guys, Drake and Jesse, were you guys in a Nova 1 feeder, or you just made it and in a different clan?
No, I kind of just like made my account and just like go clanless. Just like my name is level 1 and just like beating up on these like level 8s and stuff at like Arena 5. Just like, why?
Yeah, it is fun.
Like,
yeah.
There's all these like people
account.
who. Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, I made a level 1 account. It was basically clanless. And I ended up getting to Royal Arena. After that, I just quit. It was too stressful.
Yeah, like I can understand the stress part. As for me, like pushing a ladder just tilts me sometimes. Just like the part where I can't. Like I'll just go on my other mini. It's at 4,100 or so. I just get to like play on that and just have fun and do whatever. It's like my break. Like that's how I would use a level 1 account. It's like my break account to just go have fun and do kind of whatever.
Brain break.
Yeah,
something like that.
It does take time, and then like the I think and then also like I guess it would take some money, because you want to buy, like if you have a chance to buy a legendary chest, like you want to purchase those, or like a legendary king's chest, that's good. And so it does take some money to kind of like get all the legendaries. You need money and time, and then it's even harder now because they're not in the shop. We can't trade as a level 1. There are no clan wars as level 1. So it is a little bit harder to make one. You'd have to invest some time and some money to make it.
Yeah, like for sure. But it's also just like if without seeing any legendaries, just like how far you can go with like all epics or something. Like I think that's really intriguing, and it's a lot of fun, honestly. Just like what's my skill compared to everybody else's while only being this restriction, while only having this restriction.
Totally. And then as you're leveling up, you basically use all the epics you can. And once you get like the couple of the big cards that help are Inferno Tower, Skarmy's huge. Like it's the only non-legendary that's used in that game over deck. And Giant Skeleton, you can use that one until you get the Sparky. And so Witch is pretty popular.
Witch is very good.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was like my biggest problem as a level 1. It's just like being a level 1, you can't one-shot a level 6 Skellies. Just like that was I'm playing as Witch. This is not fun.
And Zap is good until you get logged. And so people are even using Zap at like 3,800 as level 1. And maybe just because they don't have a log, but we're having all kinds of different decks. If you guys look into the Tonova one, like at the 3,800 range and below, there are quite a few decks that have non-legendary subs in
variations.
The guys are just able to get that high with those cards. Tornado's becoming more and more popular. There is like a level 1 beatdown deck that I did a video on where it's like a 4.0 deck. It's ran by Aaron, is kind of the more popular guy that does it. So he runs Mega Knight and Sparky. And so, Aaron level 1. It's Mega Knight, Sparky, Inferno Dragon, Ewiz, Princess, Skarmy, Log, NATO. So that's a pretty cool deck. It's basically the same deck as the Alcabo deck, except Sparky for the Magic Archer. Looks like.
Okay. So, earlier we were talking about like the charm of like getting a level 1. I kind of wanted to dig into that a little bit more. Like you explained how you have like your account, your main, you get to a certain point, you kind of feel like burnt out or something. And then like you just go and get a level 1. It's a new thing. It has its own unique charm and quirks to it, like your main would. Like what exactly? Like what would make somebody who's just like, I don't know, 4K to 5K range? Like, is it that they just get tired of the ladder and like, oh look, I can try this level 1 thing. It's a new thing. Like, let's go do that. Or what's the main thing that you see people creating level 1 accounts for?
Well, I've had quite a few people that I know in the community, directors with Nova EG, just other leaders kind of create level 1 accounts. And I think that initial stage, it's really fun. It's a different challenge. And you're also, what I like about it is definitely as you're going up to like the 2,500 range, it's really pretty stress-free. Like you don't expect to win any games, but then you win quite a few because most of the players you're going up against aren't extremely over-leveled and they're all pretty new to the game. And so that can be really fun. Like the first couple days, I mean, I encourage everyone to at least try out a level 1 because the first couple of days are just really, really fun.
They're just beyond. They're fantastic.
I mean, you can play. And I think first few battles, like you just you make kind of a standard deck with like a giant, and then you just throw in any epic you get, and you end up winning a lot because you're playing against new people.
Especially if you're a somewhat decent player who's like kind of knows all the interactions, or like know what you're supposed to be doing. You get Like I have to say, I hate saying this though. It's a lot of fun beating up on players who don't exactly know how the game works.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's like one of the appeals, just like dropping to like Arena 1. Like I can see why people do it. I don't like when people do that, but you do you.
Yeah, definitely. And we've even had like level 1 guys who've been top 10. And they've dropped all the way to 0. We had one guy, Town Hack 2, and he has maybe 5,000 or 10,000 subs on YouTube, but he's kind of not active right now. But he's from Italy, I believe, maybe Spain. But he dropped down to like 0. I thought he was crazy because it took me so long to get up to my main level 1 is at like 3,500, but he dropped all the way down to 0 for like kind of a thing on his YouTube, and then he fought his way all the way back up. And I think Game Over's done that too. And so that, yeah, it's down in those lower trophy ranges. It's a lot of fun. And then I think just having that extra account just to play on, like, yeah, when you do find yourself getting a little frustrated with your main account, and then just kind of keeping it up so that you go through the chess cycles, and so you get your legendaries, that can be fun. I mean, it really doesn't take that much time to just do
grind out like winning 4 battles a day,
like get your crown chest. And for example, like during the times right now when you have the boosted crown chest, I haven't noticed it the last couple of boosts, but before that, like when they first started introducing the boosted crown chest, like I would get a legendary in that period of like a week whenever I had that boost if I was going through my crown chest. And so that I'd recommend that as well. I mean, I think it's a good investment to hopefully get a legendary as a level 1.
That's fine. So we've gone over all the charms and everything and all the unique things of being a level 1. You've mentioned where you could go to get help. Were there specific clans that you would suggest ongoing?
Yeah. So definitely. So as far as clans go, we have so Nova 1 is the clan that has rewards, and so what you can do is join any of our feeders. There isn't like a level system in our feeders. They're all created equal, and they're branded for names like level 1 in other languages, with the exception of one clan. So Nova 1, if you check Nova 1, then you can see our feeders, which are Nova 1, F2P. I think there's some free-to-play players in there, but it has some kind of focus on free-to-play. And then the others are Edno, which is one in Bulgarian, which is kind of a shout out to my wife who's Bulgarian. And then we also had a really great Bulgarian who kind of like retired, but he could be back anytime. I don't know. And then Eins, which is one in German, and Uno, one in Spanish. And so join any of those clans, and then we actually, so our mission statement, which I created in order to get like a sponsor, but I mean, I try to have our guys live by it, is to be LEAT. So, and then the letters stand for lead, educate, entertain, and train. And so, so to be an elder in Nova 1, the way it used to be, which I think still applies because I haven't really promoted anybody recently, is to go out and visit our feeder clans and train the new level 1s. And then they would come back, and it was a little easier to do that when we had like the clan chest, because they would go for a clan chest, hang out with everybody there, then come back. We lost those, but it's no big deal. So anyway, so we have like top players that are in all of those clans that can kind of train you and teach you up on how to do level 1. And also joining our Discord is big. So it's the Nova EG Discord, and you can see that link in the @NovaLVO1 Twitter, or you can check my Twitter as well, @Otche_YT. You can also watch my videos, to find help on getting better. Also, Griff made a guide. He does all the CWA deck guides on the Game Over deck, and he posted, so that's on Stats Royale. And so hopefully, like, I'll just get that to you guys so you can put it in the description.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a lot of resources that you can get your hands on in order to kind of like learn how to maybe start your level 1 and level it up. And then our minimum trophies again are like around 1,000. So you can get to 1,000 in a couple days. And then also you guys feel free to like DM me if anybody's interested in a level 1 account, and like I'll definitely get you in one of our clans if you're like having trouble or whatever.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So level 1 overview is just start by creating it, preferably if you've had a little bit of experience. Go get yourself up to level 1. Go join a feeder. Have time of your life. Sound about right?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Yeah, and there's quite a few videos out there that you can watch, and it's pretty fun. And then if you're really interested, spend a lot of money, get all the legendaries you can, and then try to compete with our top guys in Nova 1. So and and 3600 is our min trophy for the main clan. So
that's where you got to be the best at. I gotcha. So our final little wrap up topic is just going to be about. Okay, here let's figure out how to explain this. How can Supercell introduce like these new? Okay, so you know how there's like level 1, level 3, level 5 accounts, for example. Like these are different restrictions that you cap yourself off at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I see people who are like going to a certain ranking as a level 5 or a level 6 or whatever. Like, what would you guys think about a specific game mode where you have to keep yourself at that level? Your cards be at level 1, level 3, level 6, etc. Except you progress like at a different ladder. Or like that sort of idea where you give yourself restrictions and then you go fight someone based on those restrictions.
Oh yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I think that would definitely help the level 1 community. And then, it's interesting. Like, so I guess then level 1s would just fight level 1s on
each
that
other.
ladder, or you could if you wanted.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, just like it's a little idea I've been ring around since Supercell likes introducing random game modes like Touchdown. It's such a fan favorite and all.
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan of just like these new unique ideas. So I've been trying to see like what I can come up with. And since you're on, I figured since your level 1 is a restricted account, basically you can only go and use these certain cards and have these certain things placed upon you, like a certain restricted game mode where you started the game with like maybe a ban of these cards, or you can only have level up cards to a certain level.
Yeah, no, that'd be
like
interesting.
Legends can only be level 9. Like maybe that's the max they can be, but epics can be 10 or so. Or like you set up these different restrictions. But then there's also the problem of introducing that, which would probably be it'd be interestingly to code. Another thing would be
custom matches.
Yeah, like a custom match almost.
Yeah, no, that'd be really cool. That reminds me, like, so in Nova 1, we're in the Nova EG server, and there are these. So Clash of Nations occurs, and that is a tournament where all the Nova EG clans are playing against each other. And so Nova 1 is actually involved in Clash of Nations, and when a level 1 player plays a friendly battle, they can use all their cards, and they're all at level 9, or they're all at tournament standard. And so we're involved, and we're playing in those battles. But that's like the extent of what you can do with a level 1. You can play ladder, or you could play friendly battles.
Friendlies.
Like, other than that, so you can play in like little like tournaments like Con. But unfortunately, most players. So if you have like a banned card, like a lot of times that ends up restricting us because it's harder for us to get all the legendaries, for example. So we're at a little bit of a disadvantage, but it usually happens that our players are pretty talented, at least the ones at the top. Like they're usually players. A lot of them have like, I don't know, 16 plus challenge wins. So they're pretty good. So we kind of make up for it that way.
Okay. So like otherwise, like a custom match mode based on like Jesse said, like maybe just starting with friendlies and go from there and see like how Supercell would introduce it. But then there's also problems just like, do the specifications of each thing have to be identical? Like you can only have these certain levels max per thing. If they're above, they just get rounded down, like in the challenges. Like that could be an option. That'd be an interesting thing. Like how they would go about doing that. But just an idea of mine.
Any kind of I don't know if there are other. I don't know what you guys would think about this. Like if there are other communities within Clash Royale that are similar to the level 1 community. Off the top of my head, it doesn't seem like there is. Like really, there's like standard players. I guess you have like ladder players. You have competitive tournament players, and then you have like level 1 players. I'm not sure if there are any others. And really, like Clash Royale, it caters their balancing to like ladder players and tournament players, and they haven't done much at all to cater to the level 1 community, which would be cool if they introduced something like that, like you're suggesting, where you have a special ladder for level 1. It'd be awesome. Like if they did something for us. And I've been petitioning for just easier access to legendaries, but that really hasn't got me anywhere. But we have quite a lot of like visibility in the community. I mean, Clash with Ash being our sponsor, Ben Tim is in our clan, and so he's been doing quite a few videos. Level 1, he has a level 1 account, and so that's been very interesting. And actually, right now, so Clash with Ash, it's been great that he's been our sponsor, but he's actually stepping back and allowing like another Nova creative team member, whoever is interested, like in his group of creators, to like step up and sponsor us. So we're actually recruiting for another sponsor, and so yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty exciting right now. I know that I've had some interest, like BBXH might be interested. I'm not sure. I don't think she has a level 1 account, so we'll see where that goes. But
Okay. Well, I appreciate having you on, Otche. We have our new co-host, maybe in the works, Jesse here. But
Yeah.
before we end this off, I'd like to say, where can we find you at, Otche?
So my level 1 account is in Nova 1, and then I'm on Twitter at Otche_YT, or if you just search YouTube OTCHE, and Otche means father in Bulgarian, and so that's where it comes from, if you're wondering. And so that's where you can find me. And our level 1 Nova 1 Twitter is at Nova LVL1, and then I'm sure some of that will be in the description.
Well, I appreciate you being on. So it was great having a new interest. Like, you don't see a lot of level 1s, or you hear talk, but you don't really see them in action. So it's great having you on.
Yeah.
I'm Drake, your host. We have Jesse, our new maybe wannabe co-host, Otche, our guest. I appreciate you all being here. Have a good rest of your night, day, whatever time it is for you folks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Drake and Jesse.
See ya.